What's going on, everyone? It's my back again here on the Blue Boyz Network. Can you believe it? New brand, new start, new videos, kind of. I'm here with John, my co-owner. Listen to that, not co-host, co-owner. So, John, how are you, mate?
Absolutely ecstatic to be part of this, mate, and it's great to hear them words. I am now co-owner. It's something that when I come on in November, something I didn't think I'd ever get called on your YouTube channel at the time. But listen, it's not yours anymore, it's ours. I'm going to put so much work in to build this channel, just like you are. And, you know, a lot of people have said they loved the video last night. They're happy with what we've done. They're happy with the name, which, you know, I know you're going to talk about it. All I will say from my part of it is absolutely blown away with the views, the comments. You know, we weren't expecting that last night when we rebranded. We weren't. We had a target of views and it's been blown out the water because videos like that sometimes don't get as much as videos do that when we talk about Everton as a whole. So obviously we didn't do that. It was sort of like a collage of things from the old channel and you know, talking about the new channel and the rebrand. And so from my part, and I know Michael's going to do it, blown away. Thanks very much for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, look, on a personal note for me, and John knows this, the video I made for last night, and I don't want to take all the credit, but I did make it, and I put everything into it, like everything. I wanted to show you the journey. I wanted to go back to the beginning. I wanted to show you the raw emotion, the ups, the downs, the pain, the happiness, and the moment, you know, the moment where I was broke. I had broke, you know, I was on my arse. John stepped in and saved his channel. So don't get me wrong, I don't give John enough credit, and I really don't, because, you know, he's learning to edit and he's learning to do all these things, which you are, but you don't appreciate how much you did, or wherever the fuck you are, to really save this channel. So I think from me and everyone who's watching this, we need to thank you for stepping in and being that voice. And somebody wrote in the comments that you're a staple part of this channel. And I'm telling you now, mate, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here now. So thank you ever so much. Now, you're not allowed to say anything positive yet. You're not. Right, we are 5.
I wasn't going to say anything positive. All I was going to say, it was a short-term fix because I really did think you were going. The video you put out, we were as close then as what we are now, and I wasn't expecting it. I don't know where it come from, and to this day, I don't know where it come from. I wasn't expecting that video in November that you put out, and the little clip you put in on last night's video still gets to me, because little things like Liverpool is where your heart is, and for me, you're just as big as an Everton fan as me and every other Everton fan. Even though you're from Birmingham, you're part of the family.
Well, so all I ever wanted was to be accepted, and I like going through some of the older comments from like 2 years ago, and somebody commented on a video saying, "Go and support Villa, you brummy twat." And I sit there and I go, do you know what? I hope to the people, I hope to the Everton fans and the other fans that view this channel, I hope that I've at least shown you by, you know, being prepared to drive up for Everton in the community nights and donating to charity and trying to support mental health within, you know, L4 and the community. I'm as much a man who wants to live next door to Goodison Park as I am 120 miles away in the middle of Birmingham. I love everything about Liverpool, the people, the city, not the club, but Everton. I love everything about it. So, right, I'm going to stop now because we're getting all fucking saft. We're getting saft. That's what they say in the Black Country. Get sacked. We've got some rumours to talk about now. All we do is talk about transfer rumours, and you saw on the on the promo video, it won't just be rumours. But at the minute, until we got previews, prediction videos, and live watch-alongs, keep posted. This is all we got really. So, going to go through them. Rabiot again, he's been linked, and apparently his preference is Everton over Arsenal. What's your take on that, John?
I think, to be fair, he's probably looked at the clubs he's been linked with. I think he's realised the manager Everton have in Carlo Ancelotti and the manager Arsenal have in Mikel Arteta. Listen, obviously he's a bigger name manager. Rabiot likes the fact that he can play for Carlo Ancelotti. He can come to the Premier League. Everton, with having Carlo Ancelotti as manager, it makes it a bit easier now to sell the club to these players. You know, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, Arteta is going to be one hell of a manager. He's going to be a fantastic manager. And I think in years to come, he could be just as good as Carlo Ancelotti is when he reaches his age. He's had a great teacher in Pep Guardiola. But I think at this minute, Rabiot is favouring Everton because of the pull of Ancelotti. And I think this is where, and I've said this in the past, this is where we'll get better quality, bigger name players coming to Everton now. For the simple fact of the matter is of the manager.
Yeah, agreed. And look, I said it years ago, and I know you agreed with me because you agreed with me 2.5 years ago when we first met. Everton needed a manager to attract names because Everton as a club at the time couldn't just attract names. They could do it by throwing money at it, which got us in a right mess. And we still are recovering from that mess. The facts are Carlo Ancelotti doesn't do that. There's no mess. If you want to play for Ancelotti, that's great. Come to Everton Football Club. If Everton want you, they'll pay the money. We know that. That's a great sign. Rabiot would be a great signing for us. There's no doubt about it. He's a good player. He's technically gifted. He's quality. He's played for some top teams. Price tag, look, if we got him for 25 million-ish, I'd be over the moon. Good signing. Yeah, I mean, he would solve a lot of the problems that we have in that centre midfield. And, if I sat there and went Rabiot and Gomez in midfield, don't sound like a bad Everton centre too. So another player Everton have been linked with, John, is Memphis Depay, the Lyon winger, who he can play up front. He plays on the left. He plays on the right as well. Be a good option for us. What's your take on that one?
Well, I think Memphis Depay, he can play the left or right, as you said, but he can also go up front. Listen, he knows the Premier League. 33 appearances for Man United. He's improved as a player, since he's gone abroad. I think he went to Man United a bit too early in his career. I think it was a big move for him to go to a club like Man United. But as I say, this is a move for a player that Ancelotti can attract. It's great to be linked with players like Memphis Depay. He's played in Champions League games. He's played for Man United. It's good to be linked with players like that. Memphis Depay, if he comes to Everton, whether he's on the wing, on right, up front, what have you, it gives us options. It gives us options, and it's good to have. If you look at our centre forwards that we've got at the club now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Moise Kean, Tosin, Niasse, they're really only centre forwards. If you bring a player in like Memphis Depay, and we've still got Moise Kean and Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the club, if we need to play them out wide on the left, on the right, it gives us options, because I don't think we're going to renew Niasse's contract. I'd like to think we won't, to be fair. So Memphis Depay, for me, coming to Everton Football Club, yeah, I would take it all day.
Yeah, he's a very good player. He's skillful. He's quick. He can deliver. He can score. And the thing that, look, if I said a front three of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, and Memphis Depay, again, you're having the same thoughts of going, well, look, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin's having an off game, you bring in Moise Kean, who's more skillful than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. it's adaptable, it's changeable. So even not just what I'm saying is not even just game by game you can change it, but actually you can change that team minute by minute, because you can actually go, right, well, we played 4-3-3 at the start of this game. We've been looking poor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it and change it into a 4-4-2 and give us a little. And you can do that mid-game, gives you more options, because at the minute, and you're right in what you're saying, to do that change, you have to make a substitution.
But it's not even just that, whether you have to make a substitution or not. You can also change the formation. And we haven't got many players at the club who can really play 1, 2, 3 positions from the midfield to the front. We struggle. And as I said, the centre forwards that we've got at the club, apart from Richarlison, they can't really play out wide.
Yeah.
So it gives us the option, if we brought in Memphis Depay, to put him on the right, to put him on the left, or to play him up front, whether we start with that team, that formation, or if we make them changes mid-game. And Memphis Depay will give us that option, because we really struggle to do that at the minute.
Yeah, can't argue with that. And I think as a you are seeing, and we mentioned it earlier in the video, you're seeing that the Carlo Ancelotti brand, the profile, the demeanour of this man. Look at the players we're being linked with. When you look at summers gone by and you're being linked with Shane Long and fucking Charlie Austin and fucking Danny Sturridge at one point. Look at the difference bringing a Carlo Ancelotti mates to this club. And this is where I want to talk about the man that all of a sudden has gone from being I think he'd bring real quality experience in, to a man that I think, I would fucking love this man at this football club. And that is Thiago Silva. It looks very, very likely that Thiago Silva may well join Everton. It's now being reported by respected journalists that he may well join Everton. Carlo Ancelotti has apparently offered him a 2-year contract over the phone. He said, look, come and play for Everton. PSG aren't renewing his contract. This could be, even if you're giving him 4, 5, 6 million pounds to sign on for Everton, that is money well spent, in my opinion, for a player that, if you get 2 years out of alongside Mason Holgate, again, you're talking about an Everton team that you can say has got real quality and experience in it. They've been there, they've done it, and that's what Everton lack, and that is what he brings, along with leadership.
It's the names we're getting linked with now. It's the names, and as you say, give Thiago Silva a 2-year contract. Listen, the first year he might play every week.
Yes.
Second year he might ease off a bit, but what he brings is experience to Mason Holgate, to Branthwaite, and also, in a way, Yerry Mina, because Yerry Mina's not that old. Listen. So we're linked with Thiago Silva, we're linked with Memphis Depay, we're linked with Alan, we're linked with James Rodriguez. There's 4 names straight away who dramatically improve Everton as a team, but also make people sit up and notice the players that Everton are going after and also signing.
Yeah, and it's what's important. It's what. It all of a sudden doesn't just change. It changes the way the club appears. You mentioned it. Now, I'm also going to come to something, and I'm really glad the way that you've just beautifully executed that transition there, because obviously brand is massively important with Everton, and during 2019, we obviously know that our shirt sponsor, Sport Pesa, had a few issues. They were being investigated for fraud, for tax issues, for not being a very good sponsor to Everton as well, because they'd come out numerous times and fucked about on their Twitter account, promoting other clubs. And I think they did it when Southampton might have beat us, and they congratulated Southampton. It's a fucking shock. So we move Sport Pesa on. We say no. We then go and sign a deal with a car company called Kazoo. It looks like it's very similar terms, if not exactly the same terms. What's your take on that?
Right, well, I did see something last night after I'd spat me dummy out over going with an online car company called Kazoo. I did read up on it. It's quite a new business.
Yes.
Right. They're owned by a billionaire.
Yes.
And apparently he has not just as much or round about the same amount of money or worth the same amount of money as Farhad Moshiri.
Yes.
He's a billionaire. And don't get me wrong, me, like a lot of Everton fans I've seen on Twitter, we weren't happy with it. You know, we were all expecting Megaphone, USM, you know. And then I read after that, Everton have now employed Usmanov's nephew to go and get a sponsor for the kids' teams and the ladies' teams to try and get Usmanov's brand somewhere on one of the shirts within the club. Now, it's funny because it might work out that the kids, under 18s, or under 21s, 23s, whatever you want to say, and the women's team, the branding on their shirt might actually be a bigger sponsorship than Kazoo. But what I'm getting to here is it's money coming into the club. And I think Everton have used their head here. You said something to me yesterday. Maybe Kazoo might only be a 12-month, 2-year deal, and then we might get rid of them. Get Usmanov's branding in the club. Put it, you know, US, even the first team shirts could have a little USM on the sleeve, you know, things like that. What I think Everton are doing now is they're trying to bring as much money into the club through sponsorship deals. And we've said this is what we need.
Yeah.
We've got Kazoo, who's owned by a billionaire, has got just as much money as Moshiri, but they're also looking at Usmanov's brand as well to get his money into the club. So when you look at it in a perspective, if we can get Usmanov's company somewhere on the shirts, whether it's the kids, whether it's the women's team, we've got Kazoo, there's money flying into the club. And I think basically that is two massive companies. I'm not going to say Kazoo are massive because they haven't been there. What I'm getting to is the owners have got big money. Yeah. So we're using one company who've got a lot of money, bringing them into the club, but we're also using Usmanov's companies to come into the club. So realistically, we've got two companies there with massive amounts of money to get us through the financial fair play, because I think it'll work better than having USM on the under-23s shirts, the women's shirts, and the first team shirts. So it gives us a bigger scope now to get more money through having two companies which have got a lot of money within them into the club.
Yeah, you're probably right. And if you break it down based on what you're saying, and I'll just give you an easy example. If you're getting £10 million a year from Kazoo, you might be getting £5 million for USM for going on the kids and the women's and whatever else, and the arm sleeves or whatever. So all of a sudden, that £10 million a year, and I think there was £3 million from Angry Birds a year, so that's £13 million. Maybe that's now doubled, but actually, through different ways of doing it.
I got a call then. Go on.
So through different ways of doing it, you know, we've generated more income, which is a positive. Obviously, one final point I want to talk about, and obviously that is the return of the Premier League. Just a very quick one, and obviously a lot of our games have been announced. Some of them are on BBC, some of them on Sky. What's your take on the fact that some of the games are on BBC?
I think it's great. You know, I read something last week. Sky did actually stop charging people for their sports package. Yes. Now they've put a date out. I don't know I can't remember the date. I don't know whether it's already kicked in or, you know, it's coming along where they're going to start charging their customers again. It is close if it hasn't happened already. it's great to have it on BBC because the likes of my mum and dad who don't have Sky, my dad can now watch it in his own house, BBC. And also, another good thing for the first time since the Premier League started is there's going to be a 3 p.m. kickoff on television on a Saturday.
Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to say.
And I also think, and I think I might have said this before, I don't know, Amazon have got games now. You know, in my opinion, I think slowly but surely there'll be more games on Amazon and less games on BT and Sky. So I'd give it within 3 years and Amazon will own all the rights and you're going to see a lot more 3 p.m. kickoffs on television on a Saturday through Amazon.
Yeah, and I think, look, I really do feel like companies really do miss the trick with the Premier League because, look, we all know now that Everton earn money from me and you, but they don't actually earn the majority of their money from us. They earn about 25% of their yearly revenue or whatever it is, 30%. And Premier League teams aren't reliant really on that money. And look, the Premier Leagues have proven it. No Premier League team is massively struggling going under. But you're even League One, League Two, Championship sides that do rely on their gate receipt going under. So the biggest opportunity for brands is to get on TV via games being shown. Now, the only way you can do that is by being shown to large audiences. Now, don't get me wrong, Sky and BT have large audiences, no doubt about it. But actually, going on TV that everyone can see, you go into the biggest audience possible. You go into the nation. Yeah. And look, you know, for your companies like Kazoo, it is, you know, whoever, the guy at Kazoo, right, he needs to take his fucking hat off because he has got his startup business. He's offered to fund and back it massively. And the guy who owns Kazoo has launched 2 massive other companies. I can't remember the 2, but they're huge billion-pound companies. He has got his brand on decent TV going for next season. And it's all because of the fact that fans can't get in the stadium.
Yeah.
It's brilliant business. It's clever business. And for me personally, I really hope the BBC and Sky, BT, Amazon, they at least try to keep one game a weekend. Just one game, doesn't matter who it is, on, you know, normal TV for your mum and dad. Your mum and dad. You know, my mum and dad, my aunt and uncle, you know, the next generation of kids, the kids that can't afford to pay £100 a month in Sky or 30 quid a month for BT Sport or 10 quid a month on Amazon Prime or whatever. I really hope that you've got some BBC showing a game that everyone can watch. I really do.
Yeah, if you look at the audiences the BBC get for the FA Cup games, you know, the amount of people who you speak to, they get excited because it's on BBC One, BBC Two. You know, let's get it back to terrestrial telly, you know, or get it back to the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Because I tell you now, the likes of Amazon, they won't charge as much as Sky. Amazon will probably do it where you could just pay for the game for one game. You know, Sky is a package, you know, and Sky, for me, you know, the way Sky are run now, it's all about money. A lot of Premier League clubs would probably suffer financially if the likes of Sky pulled out. They would, you know.
Right now?
Yeah. Well, yeah, in general, the likes of your lower clubs who just stay up every year, they rely on the Sky money. You know, they get something like £127 million every couple of years or whatever it is. If Amazon come in, you know, Amazon could blow Sky out the water, even Google, Facebook, you know, YouTube, you know, it won't be long before Sky and BT have big competitors. And go back to Mr. Chesterman, who owns Kazoo, you know, I'm like you. I can't think of the name of the company that he started, but he's got it right. He's timed it right now to get in with Everton because he can see changes happening with the television rights within the Premier League. And I think, listen, it's not much different to the Sport Pesa deal. It's not. Everton go away from a betting company. As you said, they had a lot of shit going on in the background. But he's come into it at the right time, you know, and he's only young. He's not old. He's only young. This could be the start of something massive for him, being linked and being in Everton Football Club just at the right time.
Yeah, agree. So look, I think that's about it, isn't it? Really, what's going on at the minute? Obviously, look, all of you have we've had loads of comments about the merch and people, you know, putting orders in and everything. So yeah, look, the promo code for 10% off at the minute is "Get Over, Mate," or as John would say, "Get over, mate." There's absolutely no pressure for anyone to buy anything. But what I would say is, look, your support massively means a lot to us. It does mean we can upgrade equipment, cameras. We can keep the channel going, you know, for further and make it even better than what we're planning to do. I've spent a lot of money in the rebranding, and look, some of it based on the fact that I'm currently furloughed, I haven't got, so I need your help to pay for it. So, guys, look, thank you ever so much for watching. Please subscribe and share, like, and yeah, keep smiling, guys. We're getting through this.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you very much for watching.